Good morning everybody, welcome back to the channel. You join me on a lovely sunny Sunday morning. We're going for an early morning drive. You know, what's better than that? Empty roads and all that, love it. Anyway, you join me in the model year 23 Volvo XC40, the facelift model, and this is the Recharge pure electric, the electric version with only one battery motor on the front wheels. Anyway, more details later. Today's video is a bit more about, well, this engine, this P6, let's put it in the code names. P6 is this one, P8 is the twin Recharge electric XC40 or C40. Is this entry-level engine the one you should spec? And also, is this facelift, you know, sufficient enough to keep the XC40 up to time and also with the competition? So, lots to talk about, let's get started. So let's start with a bit of a summary of what is model year 23 on the Volvo XC40, and meanwhile maybe you can spot shorts our dog in the back, he's also coming along today. But anyway, more details of model year 23 XC40 are on my channel in the first look video, so make sure you check that out if you need some more details and some more, well, shots of this car from the exterior as well. But basically the facelift consists of a change up front on the nose of this car, more or less carried over from the Volvo C40, which was revealed like half a year or so already maybe. Well, time flies, I gotta admit. But yeah, on the C40 we basically already saw the facelift for this car as well. So a bit of a new bumper, the Thor hammer lamps are redesigned, a couple of new grille designs and all that, so it's not too exciting. A couple of new wheels, this one is on the 20 inches, look lovely, absolutely love the 20-inch wheels, make it a very futuristic feel on this car. This car comes standard on 19s. This is the EV, by the way, so then you get the 19s as standard. If you go for a bit more of a base trim on the XC40, you even get 18 inches, so not too excited. Then besides, we also got a couple of new upholsteries, of which one of them is the one I'm currently in. This is the full vegan leather option, so basically more or less a full leather interior, but then of vegan materials. I quite like it. This option is only currently available for the electric version of the XC40 and C40, keep that in mind. On the other versions, so let's say a Plus Dark B4, you can actually still spec a full leather, real leather interiors. Then a couple of new colors as well. This, for example, on this car is the new bright dusk metallic, a very warm silver-ish champagne kind of color. Looks very nice, especially in a sunny day such as today. Then you really get a bit of a champagne gold vibe on this car. I really like it a lot. We also got Fjord Blue Metallic if you are into a bit more of a bold color, let's put it that way. Then we also have the Silver Dawn Metallic color. It's also very nice, well, yeah, chic, you know. Once again, if you want to know a bit more about model year 23 facelift, then make sure you check out my previous video. Link is now also in the screen. Then the maybe more interesting discussion, and that is this drivetrain of this Volvo XC40. This is the Recharge pure electric XC40, codename P6, meaning you have one battery motor on the front wheels of this car. Good for 231 horsepower, so that's plenty, you would say. I gotta say in this one as well, but you notice that this is an electric vehicle, and that means that you have a lot of weight. So you notice that this car is quite heavy. That does not take away that it's not fun or anything like that. I mean, if I push it, you still pull away like crazy, and you get a bit of an EV turbo noise, you know, from that little battery motor up in there. But yeah, it's plenty. It has lots of torque, of course. Electric vehicles have instant torque, so each time you can push it to the limit and it flies away. So don't get me wrong, it's plenty fast. So the range, or the WLTP of this car, is 430 kilometers. So EPA, or in miles for the American viewers, that is about 240, 250 miles, I would say. Of course, depends on your driving style, on the average speed and all that. But overall, yeah, I'm doing about currently 20 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. And that's quite interesting actually, as my P8, so the twin motor, my C40 does that mostly as well. So that's an interesting fun fact over there. So 0 to 60 or 0 to 100 kilometers, about 8 seconds. If you compare that to the twin Recharge model, that's about 4.5 seconds. So there is a big difference over there, of course, but that's obvious. This battery pack with the P6 is 70 kilowatt hours, of which usable 66, 67. So that's not that bad. Also, if you compare that to the to the P8, that's 78 full and about usable 75, but then with the twin motors. So, well, it's a plenty big battery, I would say, especially for daily use over here in the Netherlands, for example. You charge up and you can drive basically across the whole country because it's so small. But Yeah, that also takes me to charging. This one has a max DC charging of 150 kilowatts, so that's kind of okay, but keep in mind that peak performance is only from 5% state of charge up to about 35% state of charge nowadays. So with over-the-air updates, Volvo already improved that speed, so it's already for a longer time, well, quite fast, but from 35%-ish it will slow down to 100, and when you hit 70-80%, the car will really slow down to 70-60, and then about 80% max 50 kilowatt. But yeah, so if you're DC charging and you need to do long trips, charge it from 10 to 60 or 10 to 80 and then head on, because that last 20% takes so long. So keep that in mind, and that's only usable, for example, when you overnight somewhere and you put the car to 90% or 100. Recommended charging for this car is to 90%. So if you daily the car, charge it to 90, that will extend the lifetime of the battery pack. So keep that in mind. So this summary of the P6 and Model Year 23 facelift takes me to a bit of the question of this video. Should you take this entry-level spec or engine on the XC40, on the electric one, so the P6? And I thought about this question already for a couple of days now, and I've been driving this car for, well, a week, 10 days now or so, and I can't really make up my mind. I got the P8 on my C40, so I really like that, but this P6 is also plenty of punch, comes along fine, driving is also quite fun. Range, well, okay, let's put it over there. Then the P6 and P8, I do not really notice a big difference in range, to be frankly honest. So that's an interesting one. Driving fun and performance, P8 of course, more than 400 horsepower. If we talk about driving and feeling and control, then I do notice that the P8 is way more in control when you're giving it full beans. Let's put it that way. Of course, that's an all-wheel drive car, so there's much more control on all four wheels, while this one is on the front wheels. So if you give it a lot of punch, you notice that the wheels start pulling and all that. And that's kind of obvious, of course, being a front wheel driven car. So on all front wheel cars that basically is. But yeah, it's a bit of a difference. So I would say if you want to have more driving fun, dynamics and such, then go for the P8. Of course, all has to do with your personal budget and all that. I understand that fully. This is just, you know, to explain and put my thoughts to you a bit more. But yeah, overall, I find it so hard to judge on this. Range, more or less the same. Speed and performance, P8. Fun, P6 or P8, doesn't really matter. If you're just in for a nice electric vehicle and want to save some bucks, then go for the P6, I would say. Also, of course, depends on the market you are living in. But yeah, you see, I'm really struggling with this question. And I think I only have one answer. And that is, have a look at the Polestar 2. And then not to buy it, or well, maybe also buy it, it's a nice car. Lots of light, by the way, I apologize for that. But I would say Polestar 2, and then look at the engines. Single motor, long range. I think that's the one to go, the long range single motor. And if the P2 has it, XC40, C40, I'm kind of expecting that one will come as well pretty soon. So if you are not in a hurry, I think I'm going to conclude with that. Go for the Model Year 24 XC40 P6 long range. And I do not have any valid sources for that, but I am expecting that, because have a look at the P2, it's the same car more or less. So yeah, I'm expecting that. So guys, conclusion, well, not really the best conclusion, I think. The P6 is perfectly great, the P8 is perfectly great. Both cars are a lot of fun. I'm having a great time in this XC40 P6. So that being said, Model Year 23 facelift of the car, I like it a lot. It's a good thing they updated it. It looks a bit more by time, especially with the new wheels and also colors. This car is up for a couple of more years on the market. Let me know what you think. What would you do, P6 or P8? Of course, depends on the markets as well. I'm not even sure if the US will get this P6. Anyway, guys, not really a conclusion today, just a let's drive and some thoughts from my side. I'm having a great time in the P6 XC40. Yeah, which one you should take? Go for a test drive and experience yourself, and then you will discover what is the perfect fit for you. I'm gonna wait for Model Year 24, I think. That being said, thanks for watching.